have given your Son, Jesus Christ, who was born to save us. And we pray, Lord, for those, Lord, this time of the year that have lost loved ones and that are struggling and hurting, whether it be physically, mentally, or financially, Lord, we ask you to wrap your arms around them. Help us, Lord, as leaders, Lord, to put you first in every decision. Help us, Lord, with the decisions that are being made every day. And we just love you, Lord, and we thank you for all that you do for us. Amen.
I didn't know it was going to be a musical. Okay. Call order.
Oh, it was my go.
Camera.
Okay, Granny.
Here.
Lloyd.
Here.
Callie. John.
Here.
Tamara. Present. Zach. Michelle. Here. Everyone's present. They're quorum.
First up, we have the reading correction approval of minutes and phone calls. Maybe you want a motion or amend or say anything?
Make a motion.
Second. You fix it. All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Call for the question? Ready to call for the question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next up, we have the approval or disapproval of the treasurer's report.
Make a motion.
Zach makes a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second by Tamara. Any discussion? Any discussion? That's for the discussion. I will call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous.
Abstain.
Oh,
I haven't read them.
oh, we have an abstention by Lloyd with the note that he hadn't read them. That's surprising.
No, I didn't get them on iPad.
Oh, wouldn't come through? Didn't show up on this.
Didn't come to his iPad.
IT.
Buddy.
Okay.
Christmas.
Then we have the program report. Sherry.
Good morning. All right. My name is Sherry Knight. I'm the director of the John L. Berry Fitness Center. And this fall, we had a really good fall. We had 44 new members, 122 renewals. Robert had set up about 8 more people on workout plans. We are finally fully staffed as of Monday. Steve Owens is our front desk attendant, and he's full-time. And then ITC has supplied me with a young lady named Gracie Bundy. So she just started Monday, so we should be ready to go when January hits with the New Year's resolutions. In October, we helped with the Breast Cancer Awareness Committee. We helped with hay days. We had the mammography van in our parking lot, and they had ladies there. OLC used our facility this year for their Halloween party, and I think they liked the space. So they already asked me for next year, and I said yes, that would be fine. In November, our basketball court was used for the education department with the STEM fair. It looked like it was well received, so we already got it set up for next year. And actually, just last Saturday, I had a birthday party in the basketball court, so we also do that. We were gifted 2 months ago with a hydraulic, we got 9 hydraulic circuit machines from a young lady from Grove. She had a fitness center called Girlfriends, and it has went out of business about 5 years ago. That's been in storage, and she came to me and she asked me if I wanted them, and I went down and looked at them, and perfect. They're new condition, and asked her how much, and she said, I'll give them to you. So I'm like, yes, I'm all about that. So we set those in the southeast corner of the basketball area off to the edge where we just push the bleachers up. So our upcoming events, we're getting ready. So January is always everybody has their resolutions. So we're getting ready to start a weight loss challenge. Now it looks like we're going to be starting at January 17th. So we'll let you know more details about that. And we've had some few inquiries about renting out the basketball court and getting ready for our basketball games. So I think that's about it. Is there any questions? If not, thank you.
You're
And
doing a great job. Thank you very much.
thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Melissa?
My
My name is Melissa Morris. I'm the tag director for tags. I don't think I ever will get used to a microphone ever. Renewals were sent out for December. The total revenue was $7,266.25. There were 43 new vehicles registered and 105 renewals. We only had 4 car seat requests for the month of November, but have several for December. But other than that, we've just been staying busy.
Are you
Any
you
questions?
still working on, wasn't it, like trailers or something?
Well, Debbie had mentioned, she said something about boats and motors, I think, last,
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
okay, I didn't know where we were.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, we did talk to, I think we may have talked to you about it the last time you reported about looking at like Kansas, because we always get a lot of requests from people that live like right across the state line. Have you, no, I guess, I just didn't know.
I don't even know where you would, what you would look
Yeah.
for.
Steve, since we have land and trust in Kansas, there's maybe help figuring out whether or not we can use that to get Kansas Indian tag?
Yes. Kansas,
They love it.
yes, we can take a look. Kansas has a little bit of a different jurisdictional scheme. So I think there are a couple of things we need to take a look at, but sure.
So,
We do have.
We have a lot of tribal members that would like to have tags, but they live in Kansas.
Is there any other questions?
Sounds good, thank you.
Have a good Christmas.
Someone there from USA? No. Okay, we'll just have to get back with Chris. I know I could maybe help a little bit. Chris is super busy like a lot of us. Eric might be able to help on some of the local stuff when you get up on what we're doing and where we're at. I think we're finishing the punch list at the annex. It's Steve, a lot of us were in Pine Bluff this week. It's going very well at QSA. I'm not really know what's able to report at the EPA side. Maybe if you could mention any of that. I don't know if I know we've started a new job, but we might have to help us a little bit. I know we got a few problems at the beef plant, but it's going very well. Cattle's doing very well. But we'll try to get it more, we'll have Chris come back maybe next month and give a report. Jeff? I want to say that Jeff, they've been working very well with the Jefferson County public safety people. We just donated some things to them, and he and Zach have been working very hard and establish a relationship with the people of Pine Bluff and Jefferson County.
Yes, sir. Yeah, as Chairman mentioned, we donated some surplus equipment, some cardiac monitors, some vents, portable vents for the EMS that's going to be helping to protect our facilities and the fire department down there, trying to get them up to the standards that we enjoy here with protecting ours. So we've been back and forth down there a few times trying to get those folks on the road and improve their service and the quality of service that they provide for our facilities down there. So have been doing that. As far as locally here, our marshal service has been very active over in Quapaw. I know you guys probably see them a lot in school zones over there. They've been doing a really good job. We get lots of compliments from the town, from the mayor. Called me the other day, was super excited about what the things they've been doing as far as their school zone and protecting their businesses. They have had some incidents. It's going to happen. They've had some break-ins and different things, but that's like in every other community. But they've overall been doing a good job. Have had really good presence over there, and I think that's really put the city council's mind at ease a little bit. You know, when you do a transition like that, do away with the department in your town, it's kind of, you know, unnerving a little bit. So, but they're very happy as far as the town goes. Not had any major issues there. They are starting to write tickets. We did get the okay from the city attorney to go ahead and proceed. We still don't have our official letter signed by Governor Stitt. Surprise, surprise. And the city attorney did give his blessings to go ahead and start issuing citations to start the revenue stream a little bit for the town. So that's going very well. Fire EMS side, we got all of our annual testing done in October. Everything's going very well. We received 2 different grants to upgrade equipment. We got an assistance to firefighters grant, $122,000 and some change to update our SCBAs, our self-contained breathing apparatus, which is very important, personal protective equipment. And we also upgraded our compressor and fill station that we refill those with. So that's always nice to have grants. We have a great grant department that does a really good job for us. And, we also received a Homeland Security grant for a new ambulance, which is nice, totally free money. We like that. So we do have a new ambulance coming as well. One other thing that we started, and I'm going to let Zach kind of touch on it, since it's his field of expertise on the EMS side. We switched over to a new billing company, and we also changed medical directors. We went from Dr. Doney to Dr. Michael Durham. And so I'm going to let him give you a little brief update on where we're at with the switch over on the billing and also the medical director.
So we got all that approved in October, got the new medical director on board. It's going to be a little more proactive, help advance our EMS service a little bit more. We did switch billing companies and report writing systems, as Jeff said. We switched to EMS charts on our report writing and fire recovery EMS on our billing. And the projections right now are looking like we're almost going to double our revenue if things continue as is. So it's looking pretty good. Other than that, things are just going good.
All right, does anybody have questions for Jeff or Zach? Well, the Governor Stitt thing, you know, I've been reading about this crazy stuff with Quapaw, so he's been calling all of us. And he left me a message, like he's inviting me to eat hamburgers in his house or something. And I just texted him back and said, sorry I missed your call, but I'm hoping your call to tell me you signed our cross-deputization agreement with the city of Quapaw. Have a good day, which that's not why this call, but I was trying to hang along with it. So, appreciate you guys. If there's any questions, anybody have any questions? All right, we'll move on to Patty.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patty Rice. I'm the Director of Social Services. Just so it's right down at our yearly reports. Total to date on burial, we processed 54 applications, veterans 589, utility applications 9,786, clothing and unmet needs was 1,295, and 24 end of life that we have processed, and the total yearly amount was 11,748. We're still really slow on the beneficiary forms. I think we are only up to 1,426, which is not even half of our tribal members. We have 62 and over tribal members. We have 542, and 65 and older is 439. And we've been trying to, I talked about carrying enrollment, and there's something wrong with one of her features on her program to get how many households that we actually have. So the last count we have is 2,761, and that was last July. Other than that, we've just been working on the guidelines, hoping to get those approved so we can get them on the website and some mailed out. Other than that, that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Does everyone have their beneficiary form signed? All it does is, all they're trying to do is make sure we know who to work with in case of your demise, right? I mean, that's pretty much the need for it.
Patty, you don't have a way to like print some off now that we could have like at our meetings when people come?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if anybody has it or not, but maybe the ones that are here, maybe you can get some of them.
Yeah, I can run over here in just a minute for some.
That's,
So, you know, that's a tough time, you have to draw someone, and then if you have a divide in the family or there's something odd, which happens a lot here, we need the guidance on where to direct the funds for the benefit. Any other questions for Patty? All right,
Are you
thank
saying, hey, Patty, are you saying that there's only like 1,000 plus that are utilizing the
So they'll
benefit?
fill one out.
That have filled out the beneficiary
The
form.
end of life.
So we have 5,000 tribal members, and we only have 1,000 that have given us
Yeah,
information.
1,426 is the only ones that we've received back.
All right.
But we still pay to the funeral home, we just don't pay to a person if there's any monies left over. We pay all the burial first.
Did you mail those out to?
They mailed them out, they're on the website.
Okay.
Got over your mail.
Last year, I think. But I will go for some and bring them back over. Any more questions? Thank you. Everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Eric?
Good morning, I'm Eric Boone, CFO for the tribe. November, we had 6.3 million in revenue, bringing our total for the year to 9.3 million. Expenses in November were 2.2 million, bringing our total for the year to 4.3. The tribal member health benefit for November, we had expenses of 461,000. Total for the fiscal year is 950,000. Social services, November, our expenses were 86,000, bringing our total for the fiscal year to 256,000. And education, we just had 8,000 in November, but they are picking up rapidly with the spring semester coming up.
What was it for education, Eric?
$8,000 in November, bringing their total for the fiscal year to 21,000. And then tribal member enterprises, as Chairman mentioned, QSA's still busy. Multiple projects over at the Pitcher Garden area. The Bird Dog is the latest job that we kicked off. We got $1.5 million distribution from them at the end of October. We didn't receive anything in November, but we did get $500,000 already in December from them. So things are rolling very well for them. And barring any, terrible weather, hopefully we can keep them rolling through the winter and keep the distributions coming monthly. So, does anybody have any questions?
How are you doing?
Busy.
How's your family?
Good.
I don't know if y'all know, but Eric works very hard. I'm sure y'all do. Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you very much. Law enforcement, people there, please. They're together too, so that's really nice. Okay, do we have any subcommittee reports? Russ, do you have a report?
Not today.
All right, so no subcommittee reports, new business, we have a resolution. Resolution 122119A approving fiscal year 2019 annual performance report to submit to HUD. So we do this every year. We don't really even have any HUD grant money, right? All right, does anybody want to,
I would move to adopt.
all right, do a second? Any discussion? Any discussion? No further discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes with unanimous consent. All right. Next up, we have, so we might have to explain this a little bit, but I'll read it first. A resolution to approve the transfer of the Quapaw Nation sewer line on 69A to the city of Miami, Oklahoma. So, well, you read those days. So we, gosh, it's been 10 years that we had a lagoon at Quapaw Casino. Remember the big lagoon back behind it? It would overflow. We'd have trouble with EPA, headache. So we put in a sewer line, and Now they're about to do some work on 69, and they're gonna move the sewer line. And since the sewer line is in our name, they're demanding that we pay to have the sewer line moved. So the sewer connects us to the Mayana wastewater treatment plant. And if we transfer it to them, they will move it and pay the cost and upgrade it. I don't think there's any reason not to do it unless someone else does. Do you have any comments for it?
No, what kind of work they gonna do that they require to move it?
There's a letter,
The reason they have to move it.
So I'll try to kind of, yeah. On January 2019, the Quapaw Nation was notified by the Oklahoma Department of Transportation through their consultant Guy Engineering that a portion of the nation's sewer supply along Mushroom Farm Road 608 would have to be relocated as part of ODOT's widening program. So that's what it's for.
Yeah, that's right, almost involved in that bar ditch.
Yes. And they actually, I think they wanted out of that bar ditch anyway because there's other utilities in it. So it's gonna save us money. We won't have to maintain that line anymore either.
You still do station.
Yeah.
So does anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion?
Do a second?
Second.
Second by Ward. Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next up, we have a resolution authorizing an application to the U.S. Department of Interior Bureau of Reclamation for the fiscal year 2021 Native American Affairs Technical Assistance Tribes Grant Program. So it's just another typical resolution that allows us to apply for grant money for technical assistance from the BIA Bureau, no, the DOI Department of Reclamation. Everyone make a discussion or make a motion?
So moved.
Do a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Question?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent.
I don't have no resolutions, those were all the resolutions.
Those are all the resolutions. Old business. I don't know about any old business.
Everybody's in the holiday mode, everybody's just kind of going through the motions today.
All right, and then an open forum, I'll try to get an update on the Steve's here on, we know that some people got their checks out of Good Eagle, and we'll explain sort of what's going on there. Donations up first, Emma McKibben, $1,595 to attend the National Youth Leadership Forum, Explore STEM and Envision program for middle students. The request is from her mother Anna, who you all know. It's just one of those really good STEM programs. The letter actually came from her teacher, Miss Lori Kellum at Baxter Springs Middle School. So I guess, I don't know how it all works, but it looks like Emma was offered an opportunity to go. And they have it at different campuses around the United States. Emma could choose which program to go to.
I'll make a motion to donate the last $500 of the cost of the trip, kind of like what we've been doing. I'll second.
Second by Michelle.
Question?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next up, we have Wild Heart Rescue and Rehab Ranch. Anybody ever heard about this?
Here, go in.
Have you? A lot of wild hearts that need rescue.
Here it is.
That's a horse.
Harvey?
It sounds like it is, but.
It says it's a state federally licensed rehab facility for all species of wildlife, needing orphan support, injury recovery, injury treatment, and disease recovery. Oh, that's cool. So it's actually for animals. It's in Claremore. Oh, cool, they received 21 bald eagles, 97 kestrels, 108 horned owls, 146 barred owls, and they released a number of them. Some of them have died and some have been euthanized. Wow, it sounds like a pretty cool program. They have 2 chipmunks. They have moles, they have 52 skunks. No. Oh, they're God's animals like everybody else. It's from the contact person was Anna King, the director. They're a 501c3, which really doesn't affect us. No, it's got the address of Foyle, but the physical address is in Claremore.
I think I know exactly where that is now. I know where that place is, yeah.
So, you right there, got it?
No, I drive by it, but no, I don't.
Is it near your Mexican restaurant?
No, it's kind of out there. Oh, it's towards Claremore. Oh, I passed Boyle.
See, does anybody, it sounds like a good cause. Would you want to make a donation or a motion?
Is that a motion, Zach?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to do 500.
Any discussion?
500?
Yeah. Any discussion? Call for the question, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention, motion passes unanimously. Next up we have Leah Joseph Jennings, wanted to study abroad, travel member. She lives in Saskatchewan. She's requesting 2,500. She's an undergraduate student at Dartmouth. She's been accepted to study in a program through the World Gender Studies Department at Dartmouth. She'll be studying in India at University Hyderabad. The donation will cover my ticket and fees for the program. She has a scholarship to cover the tuition and the fees to study abroad. Does anybody?
I move for the final 500.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Essentially, call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? So we got an Indian going to study Indian? All right. Northeast Oklahoma Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Contact person Ronnie Garrett of Commerce. It's a nonprofit. We're seeking donations for material to build a 30-foot by 32-foot place for families to meet before funeral services and hold a monthly meeting of veteran volunteers.
Barb, are you still active with that group? No. No?
Is Henry here? Henry
Oh,
was.
there's Henry.
Henry's.
Are you involved with that group?
Not really. They had the 2 entities over there, and they made these one entity had to move out of that building over there and find a new relocation on Veterans Center. So it's kind of iffy as far as I'm concerned. They need the money for it, you know. I'd give them something, but the other people that I was affiliated with had to move to raise the rent on them and all that stuff.
Materials, what are the
They're requesting $1,200 to supply concrete. Want to look for the next one?
No action?
No action. National Indian Child Welfare Association, $5,000 sponsorship held to sponsor conference. National Indian Child Welfare Association. It's a NICWA conference, it's their annual conference, it's for all people dealing with, NICWA. Are we setting anyone up for that?
Yes, we usually do, yeah. Usually Mandy goes and another person from their staff.
Well, they're asking for $5,000 for us to be a sponsor.
There are other options.
Yeah, there's
No,
others.
They will give you other options, you know.
I guess we can join it.
Yeah, we're paying for Mandy to go. Steve, we're working on an amicus brief for Indian child welfare case. So we're spending money on Indian child welfare. There's a big case in Texas that we've written a brief in the court to support Oklahoma Indian child welfare. And Texas struggles to recognize the Indian Child Welfare Act. So we are spending money on Indian Child Welfare Act, but we're not sponsoring it. Annual meeting. I don't even know where it's at. It's in Albuquerque. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of excitement on that one. All right. Pitcher All School Reunion Committee, Sherry Mills.
And Paul.
I thought, is Sue not going to make it today?
Got sick.
Oh, is she? Sue?
So you're just being Paula.
She was supposed to come today.
I do have a picture of some stuff. My name is Sherry Mills and Paula Suman. We're from the Pitcher All School Reunion Committee, and we're proposing to use a site in Pitcher, the old post office, memorial, old post office site, to put in a memorial of Pitcher. And we have pictures of what it would look like. We would do like signs that would, one of the signs would tell about our history of Pitcher, and the second sign would be about our school system. The third would be about the buyout and how the town resolved from the tornado. And it would be a memorial site. Yeah.
The first one we want is tribal history of Pitcher before it became incorporated and everything. And we would have you guys write that up and put whatever you wanted on it. And then the other three would be the boom town as mining came in, and then after the mining, and then the actual buyout and everything. So covering the total history of Pitcher is what we're wanting to do.
So you're just asking for use of the land?
Yeah, and if you would like to make a donation. That's kind of awesome.
The site that we're wanting is where the old post office was, because the concrete is already laid where these signs would have to be mounted in. And we would need help with the cleaning of the debris that's on there, and lighting for the area.
So is there any issues, Steve, might be help of us, to use that because of the buyout and being a Superfund site and stuff like that? Are you gonna get in trouble with EPA for inviting people into Pitcher?
I don't think so. Is this a site right along the highway?
It's across from the pharmacy building that we also own.
I don't think so. I think that if this was a business or a museum, or if it would attract a lot of people on a regular basis, I think that could raise some issues. But I don't think a memorial really presents any kind of obvious issues to me.
Trees already has one. The Trees already has a memorial in Trees where they've set up. It looks more like a tombstone to me, and we don't want to go that way with ours. We want it to be more of a living kind of, tribute to everything that happened during the life of the Pitcher.
And so that's why we wanted to go with the boards that kind of explain, showed photos, you know, kind of give everybody just the history from beginning to end. Where Teresa's, like I said, it looks like a tombstone, and it has engraving and everything on it, so.
Is there gonna be a statue of Jeff Reeves there?
We can do that with the funds.
Absolutely not.
I'd like to say too that we also started a Christmas parade in Pitcher. So this year we finished our 5th annual Christmas parade that has brought out, the estimated people that were there was probably like 1,500 people there this year. We have about 55 entries. So people still come to Pitcher. They come home. That's one thing they can come home for is the coming home for Christmas parade. And that has been, when we were proposed to do that, we didn't know if it'd really take over, but that has been a really big topic, and it's been important to people to come home for just for a couple hours to have a parade and have memories and share stories. And we had a guy that was doing a story about Pitcher, and he actually came through and heard the parade was going on, so he came back to do it. And he said, after talking to people from Pitcher area, he said, I felt like I needed to come to the parade because there's more to this town than just the buyout, the tornado, and everything that happened. There's a uniqueness and bond in this town that it's just hard to describe when you talk to people and they say they're from Pitcher. The stories that they tell about the area, it's just, I mean, Pitcher's still alive, whether we're there or not. There's still people that they bring their grandchildren home, they come home, and we decorate the town's decorated right now, and it's still alive in so many lives.
Okay, so,
You have you know what each sign costs or anything like that? You have a cost form yet?
I don't have
No,
it,
okay.
it's about $2,000 per sign. And we've talked to Allen Signs, and they've done these before in different areas. You probably see them at Twin Bridges. There's one at the roundabout in Everton, and they've done them, and they mount them, and they need to be in concrete. So that's why we've chosen the area where the old post office was, because that's a perfect area, and it's got pretty trees behind it. It's just a beautiful site. And we've been offered, someone owns the soccer field, and they've offered to give us the flagpole from the soccer field. So there's a lot of memories that's going up over there. We've got the gorilla that we're wanting to move in that area also. People come through and they'll put it on Facebook that they've gone through and took their pictures with the gorilla. And so we want to move that on the site also. And it's across from the pharmacy building that the committee also owns. So we just have everything just right there.
It's across from the county barn also, so there's a lot of more traffic in that area, so it can be watched closer than any place else in town.
that's our gorilla, isn't it?
Well, there's two. There's two girls. The one they're talking about is on that.
The championship of gorilla.
Yeah, the school gorilla.
Yeah.
It's privately owned.
So, I mean, kind of in the point of order, the request has been made for the property first. There's not been a request for it financial. Does anybody want to respond to the request to use the spot? I guess we just have to make sure what use means and create some sort of long-term use agreement. But does anybody want to take action on the land itself?
I don't mind that, but I don't know what the
think we need a
legalities, I guess maybe work with
So
Steve
if
to
the
make sure.
motion can be made, something like, you know, we all approve if there's a way to protect the tribe, allow the use of it, but not give up the ownership or something like that, of the property.
I'll make that motion.
So we have a motion for Cal, do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Question.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention, motion passes by unanimous consent. So, if you could just work with, probably Donna and Trenton, we'll figure out the, we'll get the details, and we'll work on language, and we'll help you out with that property.
Thank you so much.
And then once you get that figured out, y'all can come back and we'll talk gorillas and signs and stuff.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Isabel Kleinkohl. Oh,
it's Kleinkohl.
all right. She is asking, she lives in Escalera, New Mexico. Here's Steve.
My niece.
She's asking for $2,000, to attend a camp. My name is Isabel. I'm an enrolled member of the Quapaw Nation. I've lived in Escalera, New Mexico all my life. I'm 16. My parents are Lina Cahiga Kleinkohl and Isaac Kleinkohl, Prince Mescalero. I'm a junior at Ruidoso High School in Ruidoso. I have a 6.5 GPA. I'm an all honors class. I take college credits. She's been chosen to play basketball for Down Under Sports in Australia from July 26th to July 21st. The total trip is $5,238. I received a $200 discount of $200 after my parents paid $300 to confirm my spot Down Under. She has $47.38 left to pay towards the trip. She's selling T-shirts. So she's just asking for a donation of $2,000. What we've been doing, so if you explain this to her, is we typically have limited to 500 to tribal members. And
John, sorry to interrupt. I did speak to her mom, and I had kind of spoke to her because she had sent me the information and let her know that that's kind of what we've been averaging, around 500 to help with trips like that.
And then typically we make the motion that it's the last 500.
To make sure that they have the funds to actually go, before we.
So does anybody want to take action on the request from Lena?
So moved.
A motion by Tamara, you want to make the motion clear to the?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't specify. I didn't clarify that, I make a motion to donate the last $500 of the cost of the trip.
Second.
Okay, my boy, any discussion? Randy's called for the question, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Okay, open forum, any open forum? I will announce today we have the Elders Christmas Party. It's sponsored by Downstream on behalf of the Elders Committee, does that sound right?
We have 219 scheduled or registered, and we have a Santa and Mrs. Santa.
All right, and a harpist
And a harpist.
to dance to. That way, I want to see y'all dancing to harpist. Because the first request, they want some music so they can dance. We're like, okay, so we got a band, and they're like, well, we want a harpist. Okay, you should play some pretty fancy harp. But I think we have choices of ham or steak. If you RSVP, you got to choose. If you didn't RSVP, and specify or didn't specify, we'll have the option until they run out. Just to sort of save the chaos, we put poinsettias as the centerpiece because sometimes there's a tussle over who gets the centerpiece. And it says first come, first serve on the centerpiece.
So get there early.
So, yeah,
Get your centerpiece.
don't get between you and the centerpiece if you don't want the centerpiece. But we're very excited. I would like to acknowledge Tina Smith from Downstream. She's worked very hard with Debbie. Debbie's done a great job of trying to make this a success. It seems to get better every year. I plan to be there tonight to serve because I don't know which number's elder yet. We're still working on that one. The higher the better for me, but I don't care. I'll be there to serve. Look forward to seeing y'all. I'd like to acknowledge Grace and her crew. They do a great job of sort of planning it. Also, I want everybody to know that the kids got you want to explain what the kids got for Christmas? We sent out gift cards.
Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to participate and keep the minutes. I'm sorry.
All right, it's your job. Don't want it, don't run for it.
I didn't know I was in charge of the kids' Christmas party, but,
that's my
okay. The kids each have a $50 card? I don't know. I wasn't in charge of the kids' Christmas party this
Excuse
year.
me.
Sorry, you're the chairman. You should know all
I
this.
know.
You can't
Well,
do the job.
I knew me, I was just checking. You sent out a $50 gift card.
We didn't send it out, first of all, I do know that.
We supplied $50 gift cards to
The
kids.
kids came and got it. It was more of a come and go thing. It was for just one day instead of usually break it up in engaged groups. And so I hope it turned out. I haven't heard too many complaints, so I'm hoping it turned out better.
And then we did have some input about what about the other kids, right? The biggest problem that we have is our addresses, even though Patty and a lot of people work really hard to get addresses. A gift card is actually like sending cash. And we just feel uncomfortable because we get so much return mail that we just don't feel comfortable sending out a $50 bill in the form of plastic to an address that we're not 100% sure of. So unfortunately, we do not mail out gift cards for kids. I think we do a lot on the senior side and veteran side.
We still had about 40 come back on the seniors, is that right, Donna? Yeah. About 40 returned on the senior checks that we sent out, so there were.
On the kids, there's 1,900 kids, there was over 100 of them that didn't even have an address listed.
So just
So
hard.
that sort of helps explain our problem. It's,
Being on the enrollment committee, about 4% of them are wrong.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard, people just don't keep their addresses up to date.
So we do, I mean, you know, we want to do our best. Scholarship we do as much as we can, but it doesn't make a lot of fiscal sense just to send out money that we're not even sure it's going to the right people. Did we solve all the, we approved the housing? Didn't we last time?
Are you with the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all the dogs, everything, all that's cool? Okay. Just want to make sure, you know, we were clear about that. Well, it's really stressed people out. It's kind of horrible. And I wouldn't want to live without my dogs. They might have a different idea. So Steve's here. I'll do my best to update on where we're at with Good Eagle, Bear, and Quapaw. And then I get this 100% of what we believe. I haven't gotten any confirmation other than through the grapevine that the 36 people that hired a separate attorney received a check. I don't know if it's their full check or whatever. I do have been told they have. We have been in contact, so that's 36 people. For Good Eagle on our side, there's 550 plus accounts, a number of minor accounts, a number of whereabouts unknown accounts, a number of accounts that we don't have Social Security card numbers for. The documentation has been sent to the Department of the Treasury, and we're waiting. Steve, do you got anything to add?
No, that's all exactly right. We believe it'll be soon, but we don't know when, but we're fairly confident it'll be soon.
So let's all remind ourselves, these are federal employees. They're not real motivated. That's why we sued them, right? Because they didn't do a lot of things. So there's nothing we're doing to inhibit them. Everything's been provided, and what will happen from the Good Eagle side, a check will come from the Department of Treasury to a, I can't think of the term, a special trust account.
TTA.
A TTA, a tribal trust account, which then will go to Bank of Oklahoma trust account. The day it hits the Bank of Oklahoma trust account, accounts are already lined up and ready to go out with the amount the people signed and approved in their letters. Will go out hopefully that day, but if it comes in at Friday at 3 o'clock, I doubt it'll go out that day. But we have the accounts already. We're just waiting for the transfer from Treasury to the Tribal Trust account, which is a Department of the Interior. It's like the tribe's IIM account. it'll go they don't want it to stay there, so it'll automatically go from there to a trust account at Bank of Oklahoma, who is already our trustee on funds for Downstream and Saracen. And then they will then distribute the checks to the people for the amount that they signed for. Nothing has changed in the amounts or anything. Like that. We're working with the Bank of Oklahoma to have a letter that will go with it for the IRS. And I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not getting good at money. I wouldn't claim it on my taxes, and I would just keep that letter in your files. Because we worked for 6 months with the Internal Revenue Service to protect the claimants from paying taxes on this money. And then the other money is just going into the tribe's account. We've asked Eric to begin to talk to some investment banking people, whatever. We don't have any plans for it. I haven't spent any, I haven't gotten any, nobody here has gotten any, nobody here has spent any. So that's where we're at with the tribe, Cotter, Winter, Marzula, Good Eagle claimants, and the Quapaw tribe. On Bear, just to remind you, we got Bear into the Court of Federal Claims. Court of Federal Claims is an Article 2 entity in the Constitution. It's not part of the Department of, it's not the part of justice. You know, we have 3 branches of government. It's really a branch, it's part of the Congress, not part of the judicial system. Even though it looks like, smells like, tastes like, it's actually sort of a branch of the United States Congress, because it's the only court you could go in the United States to sue the United States, you could actually get money. So the process we used was rarely used. With the help of some people, I've met with every congressman, I don't know what that was, 6 years ago. They got it approved overwhelmingly by all but 4 votes to pass a resolution to put the Bear claims into the Court of Federal Claims, which helped us tremendously because that process got rid of the statute of limitations and some other roadblocks people typically find in litigation. So we were able to sue back to the Treaty of 1818. So we've signed the settlement on that. That portion is, I think, what, 137, is that right? So that's $137 million. In our documents to the court, we've said that we will pay $15,000 per living tribal member out of that $137 million. I've met, already we've been meeting, I'm going back after Christmas.
John?
Yep.
Just on clarification, September 27th.
September 27th, you had to be living, and then you have to be alive when the money goes out. So, let me keep explaining that, that'll make sense more. So, I have several sponsors lined up. We have the Oklahoma delegation from Eastern Oklahoma, Tom Cole and Mark Wayne Mullen are going to sponsor legislation. But I don't know if y'all heard of her, but Deb Holland, who's a Native American from New Mexico, she's a great woman, she's a Democrat. She's agreed to sponsor it. So we have both sides of the House, Democrats and Republicans, prepared to sponsor legislation. The biggest hurdle is the amount of 137. You know, with a $27 trillion budget, you think 137 billion isn't that much, but when you've got all those congressmen fighting for scraps for all their constituents, it becomes a big number. So the discussions we've had to date is they want to discuss in the Judiciary Committee, which is where it'll go, if they could divide that up. And the discussion has been dividing it up over 5 years. So it'd be 137 divided by 5. I don't have my calculator here. And then it would, because what was told to me is if they get the first one done, it makes it easier for the subsequent appropriations. So Good Eagle and Quapaw came from this thing called the Judgment Fund. It's a bottomless pit of money that the United States government uses to pay people that have sued them. The Bear case has to come from the appropriations process. So it has to be put in the annual budget that goes from the House to the Senate to the President. So we have to have in that budget a line item for Bear distribution for settlement of the Bear case. So if we get it all in 1 year, $50,000 go out per. If we get it over 3 years, you'll get 1/3 of that. If it goes over 5 years, you'll get 1/5 of it. It'll all be just prorated by the amount that we get through the appropriation process. So I spent, before Thanksgiving, I met with about 12 congressmen on the Judiciary Committee and the Ways and Means Committee, and they're ready. They want to help us. We have to go back because there's been a lot of new congressmen come in since we got the resolution passed. So we have to start in the House because it was a resolution from the House. Once we get it in the approach in the House, we've already been talking to Langford. We've already talked to a lot of people, John Bozeman, Senator Inhofe. I've been talking to Democrats. I've been talking to Republicans. I talked to Tom Carper. I've talked to, so we're trying to build and explain and educate to these legislators what this is about. So we don't even have I don't think the president signed he hasn't signed a bill for this year yet. So we're under a continuing resolution, I think, till next week. They're gonna vote maybe on some things before Christmas, but we don't know when that'll be. So we're still waiting on the Court of Federal Claims though. The Court of Federal Claims, the judge gave the parties 30 days to respond to his order. He wrote an order that explained it all, based on all the stipulations and everything by DOJ, the other lawyer, our lawyers. Immediately, the other lawyers, our lawyers said, we're good. DOJ has not yet responded. Talked to Senator Inhofe yesterday. I have high hopes that Monday they'll probably respond because he was cussing mad. And so what will happen once that's received, the judge takes his order and a 3-judge panel within the Court of Federal Claims will review it. It'll probably take them a day because Judge Wheeler's a senior judge there and they're not gonna, it's pretty straightforward. Once they approve it, the chief judge of the Court of Federal Claims sends a report to the chairman probably of the Judiciary Committee in the House, and then that's when we get to go to work. We have the order from the court, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee will have it in his hands. I'll go meet with him, I've already talked to him, we'll explain it one more time, talk to him about who we got the sponsors and start getting the ball rolling, and hopefully we'll get it in the next budget. So I think I'm learning a lot about the Constitution in this process, but we're getting there. And so the checks for Good Eagle, we're just waiting on process. It just happens to be between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is the slowest time of the year to get anything done if the government. And Bear, we're waiting on a legislative process. That process is going to take place. Everybody signed the settlement. I mean, and then I just got to go fight and beg and steal, and we'll probably start a letter campaign from tribal members asking them to, write not only Mark Wayne Mullen or whoever the congressperson is, but maybe we'll send all the congressmen letters and have tribal members send letters, you know, not mean ones, not, we don't have to get Quapaw on them, just say, hey, we would appreciate it if you would consider, you know, supporting this legislation. We'll put a brief history of what the case is and why it happened. But I'll wear out a couple pairs of shoes and we'll go up there and we'll fight for it. So if there's any questions, that's the best I can update you. And that's as of about 10 o'clock last night when I was talking to Senator Inhofe. All right, any other open forum? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, could you give a little background on what happened after the OIGA made their comments the other day? With all
Oh, yeah, I'll update you on the Oklahoma Compact. So we're in this really strange time right now, but in some ways there's a lot of positive beauty that's come from it. We have a governor that seems to be motivated to torment the tribes. January 1st, he's saying that our compact will expire, but there's no legal theory. The tribes firmly believe, and we have legal opinions, that the compact automatically renews. Because within the compact, there's certain triggers that trigger an automatic renewal. And one has been the Horse Racing Commission relicensed Cherokee Nation and Chickasaw Nation at their racetracks to continue gambling. The governor approved gaming for the Shawnees and the Panhandle, and there's been a couple other trigger mechanisms within the compact that created automatic renewal January 1 for 15 years. So he's picking a fight with us. His attorney general was on his side, but his attorney general backed off because he, from what we understand, does not agree with the governor. Callie's been going to these meetings as well, and Randy. So 34, there was 31 of us there, but 3 sent their proxies to say they agreed. So 34 out of 39 tribes right now are standing together. We believe all 39 tribes are, but like there's Talapaco and some other tribes that you just don't hear from that much. So United Katua Band, they don't even have gaming. We don't know what they're up to, but the rest of us, you might have seen the news or whatever, we're standing together against the governor. He reached out and called all of us last week. I think he got an earful from Bill Follis. I just said, hey, I thought you were calling to tell me you signed the Quapaw cross-deputization agreement. So nothing has happened that I know of since then. We are working on a letter to David Bernhardt, the Secretary of the Interior, because any amendment to the compact will have to take secretarial approval, or at least through his designee, the Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs, Tara Sweeney. I don't know where this is going, but what we're saying is, in a lot of renewal, we're sending out letters to all of our employees and vendors that nothing's changed and we're going to keep going. He's threatening to pull our liquor license, he's threatening all this stuff. But right now, he's got like 11 days and it's going to automatically renew. And I just don't think, I don't even know if he has the legal right to even terminate anything, except maybe our liquor license, but I'm not sure. So, Steve, do you have any thoughts on any of that?
No, I think you covered it. I think the tribe's legal position on the compacts is correct. It's right. It's it was what was originally intended. And in my time, I've never seen the tribes work together to this extent. It's a good thing. Just to comment, the Oklahoma Indian tribes really, over the last 15 years or so, have really developed the expertise, the resources. When I attend these meetings, I have to say, you know, the talent and the brains is on the side of the tribes now, as far as the leadership and the gaming regulators, the casino management. So, the state, it's just the balance, it's the scales are heavily weighted toward the tribe on smarts and talent. So it's just a process. As Chairman Barry said, there is a little bit of good out of this, and I think we'll see this through. And the tribes will be stronger, and Indian country will be stronger, I think.
What'll happen if he comes in on January 1 with a bunch of federal agents and tries to close us down?
Well, that's the problem. It's a state compact. He has no jurisdiction over federal agents. The only thing that they could possibly do, I think, would be to pull our liquor license.
We should not be scared. The governor cannot unilaterally do that. We have due process. So the governor just can't order the casinos closed. He can't order the state police to seize the machines. And I believe I believe the tribes are right.
So does that help, Barb? And Uga'xpa, we said Barb's a member of the Oklahoma Tribal Gaming Regulators Association. They authored a letter to the National Indian Gaming Commission saying that they support and believe that the compacts will automatically renew, which just goes along even better, helps our vendors, helps everybody understand that they're not subject to any violation or under IGRA at our facilities. So guess we'll just wait and see. I don't understand it. He's a Cherokee guy. I don't understand it. So, anybody else, any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Apparently, President Trump signed some spending laws. I think one of them might have been that defense bill, and attached to that was the in-hall thing, which included Grand Lake.
Yes, ma'am.
Which covered some tribal land.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're looking at maybe sovereignty.
Yeah, and we exercise our sovereignty throughout that whole process. The governor and GRDA invited all the 9 tribes and the Cherokee Nation to meetings about the issue of Grand Lake and flooding, and all they're looking for is the ability to allow a couple more feet to be retained, which may or may not have potential for flooding in the Miami area. Okay? We exercised our sovereignty because we attended every meeting and every phone call. We were the only tribe that went to every meeting and every phone call. And the Cherokee Nation and the Quapaw Nation signed letters of support for this endeavor because it's a public safety issue, and it affects 0 land in Quapaw land. It doesn't affect any of our trust land. We checked with the flood insurance companies that are doing job on it in Miami, and what we were told is that it won't affect anybody's flood insurance. There's a lot of rumors and upset people, but the tribes that had any impacted land did not attend the meetings or did not make comments, so they did not exercise their sovereignty. Sovereignty is a living exercise. If you stay silent on it, it could be interpreted as waiving it. So we participated in every single one of those calls. We worked with the Corps, we worked with Grand River Dam Authority, and what they proposed sounded to us, and the way it was explained to us, is it would be for the long-term health and safety of the Ottawa County a better plan. So the Cherokee Nation and the Quapaw Nation signed letters of support for the change on, with the Corps and GRDA, on the amount that they could retain in their pool to help prevent flooding and for public safety. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Well, every year around Thanksgiving, the area schools send honor students on a trip to Williamsburg. And this year, my grandson and Rob Weaver's daughters were part of the group that got to go for Baxter. And they was going to the different places of interest, and this one, there was a teacher, I believe, or a professor, was giving a history of the Quapaw tribe. And I found it amusing that he said in the history books in the schools in Arkansas, the Quapaw tribe no longer existed. It was extinct. And the school sponsor spoke up and she said, oh no, we have 2 Quapaws here.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, but because like 2 years ago, maybe 3, I think Anna, you helped on this, maybe, we did a thing called Fusion with the Clinton Foundation in Arkansas. And we met with teachers from every district in Arkansas. And we had Risa, Carrie, a lot of us were involved, and we helped write a curriculum that is now being taught in the school systems in Arkansas that relate to the history of the tribe. So maybe they haven't heard in Washington that that's happening.
Well, I know back in I believe the Lord was tribal administrator then, there was a book written by a Dr. David Baird.
David Baird, yes, he was one of our witnesses in our case.
But back then, they were ready to declare us extinct because we just had 1,600, but my goodness, we have really evolved beyond that number now.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's a challenge every day and always will be, because there's people that think we showed up in Arkansas like in the early 1800s, which is not true. So.
But I thought that was kind of amusing.
It is amusing. Well, I'm glad they got to go to Williamsburg. That's cool there. So anything else in open forum? We have closed session with Barbara Collier. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Real quick, before you guys go to closed forum, I'm gonna get ready to head home, but I do want to thank the committee for their donation for Isabel. And this on behalf of my sister, a big thank you.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Love you. So we're gonna go to closed session with Barb. If any of y'all leave while we're in closed session, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we hope that 2020 will be a great year for the Quapaw tribe. And I couldn't be more grateful for all y'all's lives, and I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. So we're back, 11:13. Tamara, could you report?
Yes. Let's see, topic we discussed was, we met with Patty Rice and we discussed the social services guidelines, and I believe there will be a motion to follow.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the amended Quapaw Nation Social Services Program effective January 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2020.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent.
And the business committee is also going to request the social services committee to meet during closed session at the next business committee meeting. We also met with the TGA director, Barbara Collier, about a personnel issue. We met with our CFO, Eric Boone, and the business committee concurred with the health benefit appeals he presented. There was also discussion on a loan payoff, and with that, I will make a motion to retire the debt as we discussed in closed session as recommended by our CFO.
Second.
What got you?
And we also discussed investments, and there will be a meeting at a later date for the business committee to further discuss investments for the tribe.
Mr. Chairman, I call for the vote on the motion.
Oh, sorry about that. I went on.
Yeah, so we have a motion to pay off the loan. Motion made by Tamara, second by Lloyd. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Is that it?
Yeah, that other's just my notes.
All stand. Edate, Wakanda, Jinki, Watsiko, Mocha, Watsiko, Pete, Watsiko, Me. Opade, O-gah-pah, we brought today. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask you on this eve of your son's birth, the memorialization of him coming to us and saving us. To look down on us all and bless us all. I want to look down on my brother Steve, who's in the hospital in the ICU in Oklahoma City, and bless him, pray for him, take care of him. And any other Quapaws that are sick or ill, Father, I want you to look down on them and touch them with your heavenly heart. It's a hard time of year, Father, for many families. We have memories and it causes pain. And we like to remember people we've lost at this time. That makes us sad. So when people feel sad during this time, Father, or stressed out, please bless them and hold them and help them. I want to thank you for all the Quapaws that we lost this year, Father. We've lost many. We've lost some recently. And I want you to help their families and bless them. But most of all, Father, I want you to grant us another great year. I want to thank you for making us all O-gah-pah people. I want to bless all the people that I work with up here today. They all work very hard. They all care about the tribe, and I love them all. And I ask you just to look down on us today, on this beautiful, glorious day you've given us. All these things I ask in your son's name. Wakanda Ujinki. Amen. All right, we're adjourned.